Hey Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. My chair is off to the right a little bit. I'm feeling weird, but that's okay because I have been waiting a lifetime for this figure of Prince Vultan from the Flash Gordon movie. If you have not watched this movie, you must. It is a campy sci-fi spectacular full of, it's like Doctor Who with a budget, is how I would best describe it, which is not crazy because Brian Blessed, who played Prince Vultan, also appeared in Doctor Who in the story Mind Warp as, oh gosh, as a king. He's a king, Irkanos, something like that. So there is a Doctor Who Flash Gordon connection. But more importantly, Brian Blessed, who has one of the greatest screen presences ever, made a huge impression on me as a kid. His gregarious, hulking character who looks like this barbarian brute but is this like crude but good-hearted. I don't know. I love this character. Brian Blessed is always a delight on the screen. If you haven't seen Flash Gordon, you gotta watch it. But this figure from NECA, I am so excited right now. I have the other figures as well. I put those in the wrong order, but who cares? I've got Flash and I've got Ming. Or at least the first two Flash and Ming that they're doing, but we gotta get to, I cannot wait. Vultan is not number 3. He may be number 3 in the line, but he's number 1 in my heart. I had to open this guy up first, and he's the last one I found, actually. I've had Flash and Ming for a while, and I just happened to find Vultan at a Target that I don't regularly go to today. Beautiful box art on the back, or box design on the back. The gold on the packaging is a nice metallic gold. It's beautiful. I've got pictures of the figure in action. When Earth is threatened by an intergalactic evil, star quarterback Flash Gordon embarks on a daring quest to save his home from the cruel machinations of Ming the Merciless. Aided by unexpected allies, Flash and friends battle Ming and his henchmen in an adventure beyond imagination. A couple of those words got away from me there. We've got the accessories that are included, and of course, the credits to everybody. Look at this. Involved in the development and release of this work of art. Let's open it up now. I love seeing that Real Toys, this is still a thing. When NECA very first started doing these licensed 7-inch figures, they were under the Real Toys banner, and then that kind of just, because it was, the idea I think was that they were a competitor to McFarlane's Movie Maniacs. So NECA wanted their own brand name as well, and Real Toys was it. But it relatively quickly just changed over to being like that brand sort of faded into the background and everything just became, it was just under whatever the license was. And I think Predator was the first one to really sort of get away from being a Real Toys thing and was just its own deal. We've got, of course, the background of Vultan's people diving to the attack. And this, what a figure. If you think back to the early days of NECA's figures like this, you know, they were, what, $17.99, which seemed a little pricey at the time. They didn't come with alternate heads, which, by the way, he's got 4 heads. They would come with a couple of accessories, no extra hands. Like, it was very, very different. And the fact that these are maintaining at under $40 for everything that they come with, I think NECA deserves a little credit for keeping the prices where they are. They also deserve a lot of credit for designing their packaging like this, where rather than having tape on top of anything, they've got this nice panel that keeps everything in place as it should be. Oh man, look at the golds. Just everything here is incredible. Let's carefully snip through the little plastic tabs, not mess up any paint jobs here. Is that it? Is it really just his feet? That can't be right. Oh, there goes everything. Ah, love the design. We'll take a look at this in a second. And the gloss on that weapon he's got there. There has to be another... Is there another tray? How is this going on? Oh, there's a piece of plastic there. Okay. So just friction holding the wings in. That's it. Just the two tabs on the feet. I'm actually pretty shocked by that. So let's get that piece of plastic out. We're done with all of that. It's ready to be recycled. Get all the accessories out of the way because we're going to take a look at this figure first and foremost. First of all, look at the tan on this guy. This Hulk Hogan style tan is very impressive. I want to be careful with those wings because I'm not sure. Okay, so they literally just rotate. There's not like a ball joint or anything, which I'm okay with because in the movie, they totally just look like fake giant metal wings. Like, that's what they are. Man, he is crazy. This figure is nuts. All right. So there you go. I mean, this rig is essentially just what the Birdmen looked like in the movie. Okay, I'm not ashamed to admit I had to go look something up because as soon as I said Birdman, I was like, that's not right. But they're not Hawkmen because Hawkman is like a guy. Like, that's DC. But the Flash Gordon comics predate, like, this character predates Hawkman by probably a couple of decades, maybe. That I don't know off the top of my head, and I'm not looking it up because I don't care enough. But yes, he is the leader of the Hawkmen, not the Birdmen. So not to be confused with Harvey Birdman or Hawkman or any of the other avian-themed characters with wings that are out there. You get a little plasticizer kind of gunked up around some of the joints here. Better that than paint coming off, so I'm okay with it. I'll give that a little wash. It'll be no big deal. You can see some on the elbow joint up here as well. But so there he is. And I will say, I say this every time I do a NECA review, but I feel like there was such a long period of time where NECA was putting stuff out that was a little more delicate, that did have to be handled differently, that did give us a lot of problems, that I don't know if I'll ever stop pointing out. NECA's got it now. Like, they've got it down. They've got their plastics down. They've got their paints down. Like, their stuff is, I'm not saying throw it all over the place. I'm not saying hand it to your 5-year-old, but these are very different figures from those first real toys that I was talking about, and really the stuff NECA was doing up until a few years ago. At least 5 or 6 years ago at this point, maybe longer, but they have dialed it in and they're making toy masterpieces. So his harness, this is all soft plastic or like rubber. It's not rubber, it's a soft plastic. I'm sure it's like a soft PVC. So it's all flexible. You're not going to have any trouble moving his joints around, using his articulation. Nothing's going to interfere with that. I cannot get over it. Look at, man, and the helmet too. And look, this is not rubber. Since this is for adult collectors, this is plastic. So it's sharp, it's pointy, it's going to hold its shape. It looks amazing. Look at the gold. Look at how good the gold on this helmet looks. And if you notice, this is a different gold from what's on the rest of him, and that is correct because this is his, like, I guess, helmet, crown, whatever situation it is, but it is meant to be a different gold. It is not meant to match everything else. Just absolutely incredible design on all of this stuff. Again, I'll tell you, if you have not watched this movie, you must. It is one of the most fun movies of all time. It is lightning paced. It's everything just happens. It's over before you know it. You can see a little more of that residue right there. Just wipes away. Gosh, this is unbelievable. I can't believe I'm holding this figure. It's crazy. His gauntlets, of course, look amazing. They've got the scale sculpted on those with the golden, intermittent golden scales in there. I guess feathers, really, not scales, although it's very clearly like scale mail. That torso articulation I've noticed a couple of times now, and I've kind of wiggled it a little bit. It doesn't seem to want to move a lot. It looks like it's more rotation than, oh, it's definitely, oh no, that's his waist joint moving right there. So that torso articulation isn't going to do much, and guess what? I don't care. He does have a waist joint, but again, how much do you need it to do? I'm a little concerned about the connection here. Oh, wait. So wait, this, if you look, this right here is slotted through this. So this part is a separate piece. I am so confused as to how this works. And I guess it doesn't matter. But what does matter is this looked like it was going to be a fragile little piece, and it's not. This is all, oh, okay. This strap is glued down to the back of his trunks right here. So this is not the connection point. This is not going to be particularly weak. It's that. I was just concerned about tearing this if I moved him too much, but it doesn't look like that. Oh, look at that. So the harness is not connected at the waist. It's just tucked in. So this probably goes underneath and into the torso. Wow. Think about the design, the construction, like figuring out how all of that needed to work. Amazing. All right. And think about having the access to the references that they had to have to make this figure look accurate and good. Stands up just fine considering how top heavy he is with those crazy wings and of course that helmet, I guess. Beautiful. Now let's pop the helmet off. Well, okay, let's see. How do we want to do this? As I said, NECA toys are much more durable than they used to be, but also still handle with care. Oh, the head pops right off, man. I'll tell you, they seem to have figured this out as well. This does not need to be super duper tight on this. It just doesn't. And I'm glad NECA has realized that. So I'm going to carefully but apparently the helmet does need to be super. There we go. Okay. It just takes a little wiggling. And look, you've got a nice deep slot that peg goes in. So it does fit snugly. It is a secure fit. It is going to stay on. And so are these separate pieces? Because the helmet itself is a softer plastic. These are not. So look, you can tell, you can see where it's slotted in. So these are a separate, firmer, more rigid plastic. What is the construction on this? Because this part is rigid too. Wow, my mind is blown by this. So the little visor right here is the softer plastic. So this whole wow. I can't quite figure this out, but I'm impressed because it just looks fantastic. This crest here is rigid. This part in the front is rigid. That's a work of art. Okay, moving on. So here's our Default portrait, which is incredible. Here is our enthusiastic diving, I believe, portrait. Just a fierce battle laugh, maybe. And then finally, just absolutely maniacal, delighted laughter with hair on top. I would love it if you could swap the hair and put it on any of them, but at the same time, they're recreating specific scenes from the movie. So this would be, he does not have the helmet on at all. All the other facial expressions, he would have had the helmet on. So that works. And these are incredible. What NECA is doing now is just crazy. You've got the crystals here. Hang on. Reference. The crystal ice jewel. Let me move that body out of the way there. Beautifully sculpted, nice and translucent. Looks incredible. The remote control, I believe for the, yeah, it is. Because oh my gosh, look at that. So Flash Gordon and Timothy Dalton, the other prince in the movie, have this unbelievable battle on a circular platform where spikes randomly pop up. It's amazing. And this is the remote control for that platform. I cannot remember Timothy Dalton's character's name off the top of my head. It's Prince something. But this what controls the platform, tilts, rotates, spikes pop out. It looks terrifying. And this is the remote for it that controls all those functions. I know you'll tell me in the comments, the other Prince. Look at the gloss on this. This is a beautiful piece. I would love to have a prop replica, like a full-size version of this. It's just so clean. And look at that design. It's almost like a fencing sword hilt, but then with this mean hooked club on the other end. Imagine this attacking you. We don't see anything quite so graphic in the movie, but very clearly this is meant for bludgeoning, and this is meant for like disemboweling. This is a beautiful and brutal weapon that, again, the movie is pretty campy. It's almost a family movie. I was watching it when I was like 5-6 years old, and there's definitely some stuff in it that 5 and 6 year olds, it's going to go over their head. But this is a sick weapon in a relatively family-friendly movie. Of course, I would have said that about Clash of the Titans, too, until I watched it with my son when he was probably 5 or 6, and realized I had been watching like the TBS version. You've got some interchangeable hands. You've got a tight C-grip and a more open C-grip. And then the default hands are those. I don't know which head. I'm going to go with I believe it's after he gives the order to attack. Oh, you know what? It's probably better to put the head on first, then put the helmet on. There we go. So when you're putting the helmet on, just there it is. Find the peg fit and then push from right here. Don't put any pressure on those because they could potentially snap off. Push right there and it'll pop into place. Look at this guy. Beautiful. So that is Prince Vultan. I will be reviewing Meng and Flash in the coming weeks, hopefully very soon, here on the channel. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. tell your friends about Needless Things, and until next time, who wants to live forever?
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.